Hello everyone, this is a short demo on the difference between an element, an inline element, an inline HTML element versus a block element. So the examples that I've got on the screen right now is 3-span elements, which is an excellent example of an inline element, and what that means is it displays the content of that element and that's it. It doesn't occupy more space than what it needs. Whereas the example that I've got of a block element is the paragraph. And as you can see, the paragraph takes up a whole line, even if it doesn't need the rest of the line. That's a block element. To see this a little bit better, what we can do is apply some border so that we can see the exact space it takes up, or each element takes up. So we start with a 2-pixel solid orangey color for the span element, and for the paragraph we can do pretty much the same, but we could do green and save and refresh. So this helps us see things a little bit better with this border visual. We can see that the span element pretty much just takes up what it needs but remains on the same line, whereas the paragraph just occupies a whole line and is displayed in a block view. So the other thing that we can do to change how these are displayed is to use the display CSS property. Now this by default is already displayed as an inline, and the paragraph by default is already displayed as a block. So if I actually save and refresh, we won't see any difference because that's already what they are displayed as. So if we change things around, if I make that a block and that takes up, let me try this, making them both block for now. So you can see that the span element takes up a whole line. If we display this as an inline element, now it also, the paragraph is kind of switched. So we can see that the paragraph now is displayed as the span does, whereas the span is now displayed as a block. Now, if I wanted to add a height for that one, let's just say that I want a 40-pixel height for the what do you call it? Sorry, for the block that I've got here. So that's one way to do it. There's one more thing that I also want to say is that if I take that back to inline, the height property is not affected in any way, so it's not really applied. So if you want the height to ever be applied, then it has to be not an inline block or not an inline display. That's one thing. Now we do have one more that we can demonstrate in this video, is an inline block, and what that does, it will display elements as an inline block, but it will take height into consideration. So let's just save and refresh. So if you want to have a height, so you want to have an inline sort of display, but you also want to apply some height, then this display property, value for the display property is perfect. It's what you want. So it's an inline block, but it does get affected by the height and even the width if you need to as well. So that's what I wanted to speak about in this video. I hope you found it helpful, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.